Hello, you are listening to Everyday Superpower, a place we can learn about body language, non-verbal communication, and everything in between. You know how we do it. We keep it nice and simple. Click like, click like, click subscribe. If anything comes to mind, leave a comment in the comment section. And without further ado, let's get on with it. So, today we're talking about bending the body. We've done a little video on this before, but let's see if we can attack it from a different angle. As we know, to learn something, especially in this realm, it's like learning a new language. You want to see it in all sorts of different environments and hear it in different contexts and whatnot. So we're talking about the body bend. Chinese would call it a kowtow, I believe. Perhaps it's pronounced different, but I learned it from reading, so give me a break, yeah. And it's just a bowing, all right, a bowing to another individual. It can be very minute, or it can be a complete range of motion, all right. It's a gesture done by bending the waist forwards towards the ground, and in result, the shoulders, the head, and so on and so forth above the waist will start to lower to the ground as well. But the waist don't even have to necessarily be involved. You can just bow from the head, all right, aka a head nod, right? It's a form of appeasement, and it's a telltale symbol of submission, okay, which is used to show respect. So when we talk about submission, it's not a bad thing. You don't go around the world being dominant to everyone and standing on everyone's toes. That's not how we communicate efficiently. Sometimes we do have to submit to others through our nonverbal communications. Just exposing the palms of our wrist and becoming friends through an openness is a form of submission, all right? So it's not a bad thing. It's not about being, weak and so on and so forth. So to bow to others shows respect, first and foremost, and it can show admiration to that individual, right? The tilting of the head comes down and the lowering of the eyes, right? And what that signifies is that you are willing to take your eyes off of the individual and allow them to have some degree of power over you momentarily. Because if you were to be a dominant individual, or to be, insecure about this person, you might have to keep your eyes on them to ensure that you're safe and sound. It's just the brain's means of survival, right? So what you do is you placate this higher authority within the other individual by lowering the body and allowing them to have the upper position, the upper hand, so to speak, in that particular moment, okay? So when one is at a job interview, let's say, in your best interest, if it doesn't come natural to bow the head somewhat momentarily, I did it. Only this weekend, I met a lot of new people. I met an individual who was evidently insecure, man. And in order to ensure that we could move smoothly within our communications and get to know each other all right, it was in my best interest to create a first impression, which is one of submission and comfort around this person. Leave them in the comfortable position they want to be in. Obviously, it's not right for them to believe that that's necessary in regards to communications, but it puts me in a better position of actually opening up to this person and getting a communication rather than attacking them head on with some sort of open declaration of dominance, all right? Especially when it comes to an insecure male. And as we know, an insecure male tends to be the boldest and the loudest and so on and so forth. It's a great big overcompensating situation, and we'll go into that in a later video in regards to overcompensation and its many forms and so forth. So it states, I respect you enough to trust that you aren't going to attack me whilst I lower my eyes towards the ground. And as we know, towards the ground is a more submissive position than up in the sky. We look at God in the clouds, and we look at the eagle flying high and having a better position to swoop in on, rather so than the lot on the floor. We look at archers on the top of a great big tower looking down on everyone else. We look at a person looking down their nose to another individual. So it's allowing that person to have that position of power. All right. Look at how people react when they meet the queen. Naturally, when a subordinate is taking orders off of a boss, you may see this behavior come naturally. And if it doesn't come naturally, it may indirectly provoke a subconscious defensive mechanism within that authority, and obviously that's not what you want to be doing to somebody in a position of authority. Okay, so that's a little overview of bowing. You can see it in a minute form with the head nod. So as you nod your head to another individual to acknowledge their existence, what you're doing is you're momentarily submitting to them, creating a form of friendship to say, I don't have to be on my highest guard, purely as we're friends and I believe in you and I trust you, okay? I trust you not to harm me. So I'm going to allow you to take this upper position, which is symbolic of my relationship to you, okay? I'm completely fine with allowing you to take that position. Albeit momentarily, it means a lot. Click like. Click subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment if there was any food for thought regarding this video. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.